Hi students, this is Mrs. Cotter, and I'm going to be your instructor for Introduction to Human Verbal Development. I did teach the class last year online for the first time, so this is our second time around with the on-site or online try to do the course. I hope that you will enjoy it. This is a subject that I love dearly. If you read a little bit about me on your syllabus, you saw that I've been in education and therapy services for quite a long time. I want to just spend a couple of minutes talking to you about what expectations are for the course, and I have a few notes here in front of me to just remind myself on those important points. I do want to be very sure that you read your syllabus quite carefully. There is a link to the academic expectations for Heartland College by itself, and it talks about the rules for plagiarism, for tests, for those kinds of things. Also, I've included in your syllabus a calendar week by week of what expectations we're going to have and what we're going to be doing. You know, if I was you, and actually I do this myself, I make a copy of that calendar and I hang it on my bulletin board right next to my desk here at home. And that way then I just check off each week what we've covered and then when assignments have been turned in. Speaking of assignments, I just want to be sure that you understand how important it is that you do those assignments. You'll see in your syllabus and the explanation from the course that it says there will be online class discussions. If you've not taken an online class before, you might not understand what this is. But each week I will pose either a question or an inquiry or asking your opinion or things like that. And you will need to respond to me, to that question. And then you'll also need to respond to two classmates. So the sooner you can get your reading done, read that, get your discussion points in, the easier it is, because we do have quite a large class this semester. We have about 25 people that are going to be joining us. I think that's awesome in the fact that we have lots of different people and we'll have lots of different opinions, but it does mean that there will be a lot of discussions for us to read. So be sure that you do that, and I want to let you know that you do actually earn points for responding to me and then also to respond to your classmates. It's important that you do this because you can get a quarter of a point, a half a point, or a full point when it comes to those weekly things. I have a grid, I have your name, I have all of these little boxes, and I keep quite careful track of all of those things. And I will tell you, there have been students who have missed an A or a B by a point or a half a point, and it's very sad for me, and it's very sad for the student. So if you will just get into the habit of doing your weekly discussions, actually those little points add up and they can make a difference in your grade. Plus the fact is that is kind of your way of signing into the class each week so that I know that you are part of this conversation. And even though it's written, it is interesting to see what other people have to say. So please be sure that you participate in those discussions and that you are answering to two peers and to myself. Assignments, you will have a weekly track on the calendar, but then I'll also be talking to you or putting it in the weekly assignment text box that I have in your modules, and it tells you when certain assignments are due. I want to encourage you to turn in your assignments, even if you're not sure about them or even if they're late. There is a penalty for late work, but work is still work, and every time you turn something in, you're going to be earning points. Now, if I feel like you've missed the point of the assignment or you're not sure about it, please, let's talk back and forth. I will, if you turn it in ahead of time and there's time for you to redo, you know, my whole idea here is to help you understand about communication and how it affects not only young children, but our whole world. And so I'm all about your success, and I want you to be successful in this course. Please do ask questions. If you're responding to a discussion and you're not sure, ask myself and ask your peers. If there's something that your peers have written that you're not sure about, ask them a question. We'll see if we can get some discussion going. I have here on my notes, please be a little bit patient. I do still work full-time at another job. I'm a program supervisor for special education programs in Livingston County. So I do have a full day ahead of me, just as many of you do. One of the reasons probably why we both teach and take online courses. I do work almost every evening on the course and the discussions. But I found out, just like if I have students face-to-face classes, that many times students wait until that Wednesday evening to get those discussions in, and that's fine, that's not a problem. But it does take me a little bit of time to get those graded. You will see on there that when I have read your discussion points, that it will be marked as read, so not to worry about that. There are a few times during the semester that I will be making a YouTube, and that's usually when I want to be sure that you're understanding some of these subtleties. It was quite an interesting development taking this class, which was all about verbal communication, and trying to put it onto an online class. And one of the first things we're going to be doing is training your ears so that you hear how people make correct and incorrect speech sounds, what children sound like. And as I was going through it, I thought, boy, there's just a few times I need for you to listen. I need for you to hear the difference between a correctly made s and an incorrectly made sh. And there's just no other way to do it than to have you watch and listen. So please do watch those YouTubes. That'll be hopefully easy for you to pull up and watch on your computers. Let's see. I guess that's probably about it for right now. Don't hesitate again to ask me questions. I am not usually on campus, but I only live a few miles away. I live in Lexington. So if you have a time that we really need to meet face to face, I am more than willing to do that. It might be on a weekend, it might be on an early evening because I do work full time, but we will find a way if we need to do a face to face. Or we can do a Skype. If you guys know how to do it, I can do it. My daughter lived in Ireland for a while, and so I learned how to do that, and we can talk together that way too. Or a simple phone call, or certainly some text back and forth. I have to tell you that emails are my friend. I do look at my emails from Heartland every day, and usually at least once or twice over the weekends, especially as we begin to have assignments that are turned in. I do keep track of your assignments. When you're turning things in, you're either emailing me or sending them in on wikis or Google Docs or something like that. And I do make copies and I do keep them because I want to be sure that I have the evidence. And if there's ever any question about how I graded or what the assignment was, then I have that document available to me. So we're going to get started. I'm releasing your first module on Thursday. And I do this because I found out that students who take online classes, many times their assignments are Sundays to Saturdays. I like to give you the whole weekend to be able to do your assignments and take a look at that. I too was a student and a graduate student. I was a graduate student with a new job and little children. And so those late evenings and those weekends were the time that I could take the time to do my work and turn in quality information. If there's any time that I feel that your writing or your understanding or how you turn in assignments is not at a college level, I certainly am going to be talking to you because I really feel like I'm not only teaching you the subject area, I'm also teaching you how to be successful in life, and that's important to me. So with that, I'm going to sign off. You're going to have your first week coming up. Any questions, just let me know. And we'll kind of work into sort of a rhythm. We won't have quite as many things to write at the beginning of the semester because we have to get some foundation work done. But once that foundation is laid and we're ready to go, then you will be having probably written assignments about every week and a half or so. Okay, so that's it. I look forward to meeting all of you online, getting to know you, and having a really good semester. Good luck to you all.